YouTube, what's going on? Today I'm going to show you how I turned a deck of cards into an Xbox One. The cool thing about this is I did this in less than a month. I'm going to show you guys step by step how I was able to accomplish this and what my final goal actually is, because it's not an Xbox One. It's a Cybertruck. So a little backstory, I'm Canadian, and in my province there's a guy named Kyle Macdonald, and he was actually the first person to trade a paperclip into a house.
Cool.
I was obviously super intrigued by this and inspired, and I want to try and do this myself, but I want to buy a Cybertruck because my wife said I can't buy one, but maybe I can trade for one. Today is all about how I was able to flip a deck of cards into an Xbox One in just under a month. The reason that I did this is because I'm a magician right now, and basically in all of 2020, all my gigs have been canceled due to the recent pandemic. As a result, I obviously have way more time to focus on other things and find different avenues to generate extra cash. So I have two main strategies that I use. Strategy number one, not only am I trying to trade things, but I'm also willing to sell these things that I trade for money. It's important that if you're going to try this out, that you're not afraid to actually take some cash and then use that cash to buy other things. I found that with certain items, it's actually harder to trade. It's a little easier to just get some cash instead. Strategy number two, I bought items that I could actually flip for a larger profit than I paid for. If you guys are feeling inspired and pumped up about what I'm doing, please gingerly flick that like button until it turns a ravishing blue color. Thanks a lot, it helps me immensely grow this little baby channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow this journey towards my first Cybertruck. Alright, so here's how I got my Xbox. I started with a deck of cards and I traded it to someone who gave me 2 decks of cards. So it's pretty cool being a magician. I've got some decks of cards that are kind of strange and weird looking, and they actually don't really cost that much money. So someone traded my 1 deck of cards to 2 decks of cards, so I doubled my investment just like that. The next thing I did was I took those 2 decks of cards and I swapped them for a Rubik's Cube. And this Rubik's Cube was in good shape, pretty good condition. So I valued the decks of cards around $5 and the Rubik's Cube just over $10. So once again, I've doubled my position. So the best thing about me getting a Rubik's Cube is I use Rubik's Cubes in my magic routine. So I add grease and I had some cleaner for it. So I actually just kind of cleaned it up and made it look really nice and new. Then I saw somebody online who wanted to trade an Xbox controller away. So I offered up my Rubik's Cube and boom! Just like that, I pretty much doubled my position again because I valued the controller at about $30 Canadian, especially because it's a little bit used. Boom! Bye-bye Rubik's Cube. Hello, Xbox controller. Just a little bit of foreshadow for everybody. As you guys can see so far, I've been doubling my money, and this time I more than doubled my money because I took my Xbox controller, but I found someone who has a dog kennel, and the dog kennel wasn't in the greatest of shape. It has a little crack in it, and it was a little bit dirty. So all I did was I offered the Xbox controller and we traded straight up. I quickly Googled what dog kennels were worth, and they were valued around $70. So once again, I'm more than doubling my position. Just in 10 days, I've gone from having a deck of cards, which is only worth a couple dollars, to having a dog kennel, which is worth about $70.
Cool.
So I'm using the strategy that I talked about, is I'm finding value in things that seemingly don't have as much value. What did I do? I listed my dog kennel and I tried to make some trades for other things, but I had no success. So I sold it. I listed it for $90 and I sold it for $70. Cha-ching! Once again, doubling my position. This next one I kind of got a little bit lucky. Like you guys know, I'm part of a spike ball community and I know a lot of people that play. Well, I found somebody who was selling their net that was broken. I offered the person $70 for the net. I don't know if he knew this or not, but I was able to just take a picture, and Spikeball has an amazing return policy and they actually send you free parts. So I bought the net for $70. I got the free part. Now that net is worth over $100. This is where I got my big break. So I posted the Spikeball net on Facebook Marketplace, and wouldn't you know it, somebody offered me a baby stroller. I don't even know what the heck they're called. You like go for jogs with your baby. Look like a weirdo. I quickly Googled what the baby stroller was worth, and I saw other people selling the stroller for $200. The stroller, fortunately for me, wasn't really in the best shape, but all I did, same thing as I've been doing, is I cleaned it up and I tinkered with it a little bit, and boom, I have now a jogging stroller worth around $200. So once again, I have more than doubled my position. So it's only been about 3 weeks, and at this point I've gone from a deck of cards from something that's worth around $200. I listed the stroller for $220 and somebody gave me $200 cash. Boom! I took that $200 and I bought a used MacBook Pro for $150. So that gave me an extra $50 cash on top of it. Now this MacBook Pro is quite a few years old, but it still worked really well. And I'm pretty good with computers, so all I did, I cleaned it up, I washed it, and I cleaned the entire hard drive out and reformatted it, and what do you know? It's actually a decently quick computer. So now I've got this MacBook Pro plus $50 cash. So what do? I keep the $50 cash, which I'm going to use for my next trade, and I was able to trade my MacBook Pro, which I bought for $150, and double my investment, and I got my very own brand new Xbox One. Somebody wanted to trade me that MacBook Pro for this brand new Xbox One. That's a really good deal for me. Let's go. Woo! This actually wasn't as much fun as this video may have made it sound. It was actually really hard and really frustrating to try and meet up with people all the time and make things work. So now I've got to decide what to do with this. I got to see if I can flip this for something else, or maybe I'll sell it for cash and then use that cash to invest in something else. I'd like you guys to comment down below what it is that you think I should flip the Xbox for. Maybe you have something that you want to trade for this brand new Xbox. So let me know, and maybe we can link up and make something happen. That would be awesome. That this video inspired you and showed you that you can make an intense amount of money from finding value in things that other people don't find value in, and flipping it for a mass profit for yourself. This is kind of a fun way to make some extra money and a really cool way to get an Xbox One. So if your parents or your wife won't let you buy an Xbox, we'll just get a deck of cards and start trading. Congratulations, you made it to my awkward wave. Thanks again. Subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed, and please, once again, flick that like button as it helps me immensely get found on YouTube and grow my little channel. All right, thanks so much. Have an awesome, awesome day.